spilled fucking Dr. Pepper all over me, but whatever. Welcome back to another Prequel Chronicles. I can finally say it, and shout out to my boy Gus for this story, because I completely forgot that it happened, wiped out from my mind, but here it is. So this was about primary school time, 3rd grade, I would say, maybe 4th grade, intermediate school, but we had a kid down the street from me. His name was Keith, and he lived on the corner house. So we lived 8 houses into the neighborhood. He lived on the corner. This kid, imagine Eric Cartman. Literally the real life, unironic, not funny version of Eric Cartman. Just some fat kid who enjoyed bullying people and being a complete asshole and would have his moments. So we started out as being friends, and he would come over, we'd hang out, I would go over there, we'd hang out, and it would just be friendship at a young age. But just like all kids, you never understand why a switch just flips and they become a complete dick. I guess you could kind of see now because it was his family and his brother's influence, but at the same time, he was just a complete dickhead to begin with. So after we decided to stop being friends for whatever reason, he would bully me because obviously we'd be on the same bus and we're little kids. So he was like, why not just bully this kid that I used to be friends with? We were on the bus one day, and the biggest story that I could talk about with this is when I would walk my dog. I'd walk my dog almost every day, I feel like, and he would see that because he's the corner house, and the route I went around the bend that was his corner, and I would walk my dog. So one day on the bus, he's just bullying me, saying whatever. Don't remember at all what he was saying to me, besides when he told me that he was gonna kill me and my dog if I walked past his house again. So I was shocked, I was scared. I'm a very sensitive person back then and even now. So obviously when he said that to me, I was very startled, and I told my parents. So the next day we go into the principal's office, because obviously my parents told because they wanted to protect their child, especially because we knew that this family had guns, and we nicknamed them white trash with money because they literally were white trash, the epitome of white trash. They had the worst kept lawn, they had the worst personality, but obviously they had money, so we call them white trash with money because they lived in a nice house, but they just were not the best of people. They were completely trailer park trash, so that was why they got their nickname, white trash with money. Even my parents didn't know what they were capable of, because you have this crazy menace of a child, you have parents who don't give a shit, and you know that they have guns, whether they're airsoft or real or whatever. They told me when we were friends, I knew that they had them, so obviously this threat was scary to me. So we went in the principal's office, we both tell our stories, we cross paths, but we never are in the same room. Obviously they believed me, so they switched me into a hall the next year. So after they switched my halls, I lost all my friends, obviously, because you can't really drive around, go places, and do things with these friends, so you have to meet all new friends. So it kind of fucked me up, but I met a lot of friends that I was friends with throughout high school, and that was nice, but that's besides the point. I had to deal with this every single day because obviously he was a neighbor 8 doors down from my house, making threats like this, acting this way. And my best friend Gus, who suggested this story, actually was one of the fucking ops. He would sit across the street, him and Keith, on their bikes and stare at me whether I'm on my trampoline in the backyard, walking out of my house, doing whatever. They would yell stuff to me. Or it got to the point where my dad had to go over to Gus's house, and the funny thing is Gus's dad and my dad are like best friends to this day. Me and Gus are best friends to this day. Back then, he had to go over to the house and like tell them, hey, can you get your kid to stop harassing? Like some days Gus is over at our house and we're treating him like great friend, great family. But then the other days he's with Keith across the street, like harassing Kyle. And I'm glad Gus finally figured it out in his life and knew to join the right side. But at the time, it was getting to the point where it was consuming me. And bullying is just an L, especially when you're such a little kid. You're just an idiot if that's what you do. I don't really care about that now. Now I don't take shit. Like I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. I promise you, I'm just joking. Unless you cheat on me, then I'll kill you. I'll pull an O.J. Simpson. So this bullying continued, and obviously, like everything in life, it fades out. So it finally faded out. It just took a long toll on my life because you live 8 doors down from me. You harass me. You tell me you're going to kill me and my dog if I walk by. We know that you're white trash. We know that you have the capabilities to do that if you're that much of an idiot, especially as a young kid. And you also just been harassing me across the street like every day. I'm trying to do something with my life. And obviously, I never turned to bullying, and I didn't. But even one of my best friends, and here's fucking, why not throw two stories in one. But my best friend, we had another neighbor that also lived on the other corner, and we would also be on the bus. And my friend would bully him every day, and low-key he'd be an asshole, but I never joined in because I knew how it felt to be bullied. I should have defended in the situation and been like, yo, stop. But I was too scared as a little kid. No excuses anyway. It's just that was such a rampant thing. I feel like bullying has kind of died out recently, and especially like in life. Like, I'm sure a lot of people still bully, a lot of people still troll and fuck around. But when it comes to school bullying, I feel like it's died down a lot more than what it used to be, because it was such a big topic and such a big thing of discussion back in the day. And now I don't really hear about it anymore. So that's my experience with bullying. I had a lot more experience bullying because I had like a lot of acne problems. I just was not the popular person in middle school. I didn't have a lot of friends. Well, I did, but they were mostly fake and like assholes. So I've dealt with that for a long time until high school. Then that's when people started liking me, and that's better because that's a better part of your life anyway. When you're in middle school and stuff, everybody's a fucking prepubescent asshole and a bunch of Eric Cartmans. But when I tell you that this kid, Keith, was Eric Cartman, he literally was. And he's cool now. He's cool. Actually talked to him a few times, not gonna lie, and he was a decent kid. He was like a pothead, but then he stopped being a pothead and started working. Now he's doing good for himself, so I'm glad. But we had a saga back in the day, big time, and he just was not the right guy whatsoever. But white trash with money, I hope you're doing well. But threatening to kill me when we're like 9 years old is not okay, and I hope that you agree with that now to this day. Thank you guys all for watching the Prequel Chronicles. I will see you guys tomorrow for another video.
Bitch, I'm riding down the E-way, smoking Doty, yo bitch passenger. If I fuck her once, then bitch I'm passing her. 93, that's foreign, fill this bitch up to capacity. Arsenal, treat a little bitch nigga like he Cassidy. X this little bitch out, I'm in her mouth just like a